40 is the most unlucky guy I have ever seen. And, okay, maybe I'm hyperbolizing it. There's probably some guy who's gotten struck by lightning twice or thrice or whatever, who you could say is probably more unlucky than Elias Pettersson has been. But holy dude, the early game, Vancouver versus Carolina, this is like the earliest post-game video we've had to make in 2 years, something like that. Yeah, 2 years ago. It was before the pandemic hit. We were still having road trips. We were still having away games on the east side. And Vancouver was playing some games, I believe, at 10 a.m. in the morning. But either way, it's the first 10 a.m. Canucks game that we see on the road in a very long time, and it kind of messes with me because I have to go out there and change the schedule. You know, I try to upload 3 videos a day before the afternoon, and everything kind of falls into place because we have to move around other videos and all that. So now we're making our post-game video, and I was gonna go out there and, you know, just talk about the notes, talk about every highlight that I had written down in my little notepad over here, because, you know, most YouTubers, they do that when they want to make videos about games that they watch. They write down stuff that happens in the game because it's a 60-minute program. You can't go out there and remember everything off the top of your head. But as I was reviewing my notes, and as I was watching this game, the Vancouver Canucks, by the way, they lost. It was a 4-1 decision here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I went out there and I was like, okay, there's a common trend with a lot of these notes that I've written down. Especially when you're talking about one player on the Vancouver Canucks. You know him, you love him, he is the most unlucky man in the world. Elias Pettersson himself. My gosh, dude, the highlights in this game, if you were to compile the Pettersson plays, not just the shifts that he had, because, you know, you can have a shift out there on the ice where you don't really do much. You chip the puck in the offensive zone, you go after it, you chase it for a bit, it gets turned over, you skate back to your own zone, you play in your own zone a little bit, you steal a pass, and then you send it down after reaching the red line, then you go off on a change. That stuff happens all the time. But when you take a look at what Pettersson was up to in this game, oh my gosh, it's just kind of, there's a list, dude. There's a list of stuff. The puck seems to follow Pettersson around in the worst way possible this game. And even though there are indeed some goals we have to talk about, let's just get those out of the way right here first before we can go over and get into the PD, because the PD, oh, you might say I'm being too hard on the guy, but the guy's making $7 million. He's supposed to be the best player on the team, or the best forward on the team at the very least. Let's go over all the goals over here before we talk about Petey. First goal of the game, it is a power play, an absolute brilliant shot by Sebastian. What a crazy one-timer. Perfect shot selection. He's out there in the face-off circle who receives a pass, and right when he gets the puck on his stick, he spins, he whips it on goal. Amazing velocity, amazing angle. He gets a fantastic goal to give the Carolina Hurricanes the 1-0 lead. Next goal of the game, it's Bo Horvat, who comes into the offensive zone. He reaches the top of the face-off circle, and he lets a shot go. That's it. A simple play on paper, a simple play in practice, but an absolutely lethal wrist shot is what we see here from the captain, who comes right in and he snipes it over the glove of Frederik Andersen, tying things up at 1 apiece. The 2-1 goal scored by Carolina was about a minute into the second. It's a very unfortunate Vancouver Canucks defensive play where the Hurricanes take it down low. It's Necas to Svechnikov on the side, who immediately feeds it out to Trocheck in front. What a tic-tac-toe passing play. It's like NHL 22 right there. That's the kind of thing that I feel like I'd pull off in the video game. Obviously, you know, I'm not that good at the game, but I'm good enough to go out there and make some plays like that. But 2-1 very quickly here for the Hurricanes. It eventually becomes 3-1 when Necas gets himself a 3-on-1 opportunity. This one was really bad. It was Brad Hunt in the Carolina zone who pinches, tries to get a big body check on Svechnikov, but Svechnikov, hey, he's a big beast out there. He just ballerina twirls around Hunt and the hit that Hunt was trying to deliver, which leads to that 3-on-1, which is why Necas has all the space in the world to come in, shoot it, and score it. Eventually, the 4-1 goal was scored here in the third period. Very nice tip out in front by Steven Lorentz off of a shot on the perimeter. It goes right by Demko, who had to play because Yaroslav Halak, who was supposed to play today, was placed in protocol about an hour before the game, so very unfortunate to see there. The Vancouver Canucks lost 4-1, but I honestly feel like this could have been a 5 or 6 or 7-1 game. I think if you really want to go out there and maximize the scoring opportunities, this game could have been like 8-3, 8-4. Demko had to make some pretty good stops, and the Carolina Hurricanes were buzzing all around Vancouver. On the power play, on the penalty kill, at 5-on-5, Carolina was just all up in Vancouver's grill, and the Canucks ended up deserving to lose this game for sure. Sure, they had the odd chance or two in front, and Freddie Andersen had to make some saves, but for the most part, Vancouver lost a game that they deserved to lose. That's another L in the column here during this road trip. It's starting to look very dire for Vancouver Canucks fans trying to project any kind of a playoff push. But when it comes to the guy I wanted to focus on the most in this game, Elias Pettersson has been so snake-bitten this entire season, and it got even worse when the media started pounding on this guy, started telling off about this guy. Some people started to say, oh, trade the guy on social media, scratch the guy, remove him off the power play, this and that. Vancouver media, relentless, you know what it is. And Bruce Boudreau earlier had to say this into the media, that he feels that Pettersson is ultimately responsible for Pettersson becoming better. And that's one of those quotes where it's like, yeah, duh, of course, Pettersson is responsible for Pettersson. But it's one of those things where you start to think about what the team and what the fan base's sentiment is. Yeah, you're not going to fix Pettersson by putting him on a power play. You're not going to fix Pettersson by playing him with different line mates. You're not going to fix Pettersson by giving him less or more ice time. You're going to fix Pettersson by allowing Pettersson to fix himself. And this game was probably the worst game out of all of them when it comes to the luck this guy has. I made a tweet about it earlier on in the day that I kind of use as reference when referring to everything that happens with Petey, but this is the checklist of Elias Pettersson events that stood out to me. Again, not just the regular dumps and chases. This is the Pettersson highlight reel. In the first period, a bad giveaway by Petey led to a 2-on-1 rush against for the Carolina Hurricanes. Fortunately, it was Vincent Trocheck who missed the net on this one. A few minutes later on the power play, Pettersson takes the puck in the offensive zone. He's got some speed, he's got a lane, and he completely mishandles it. This clip was analyzed by John Garrett, and he's like, yeah, Pettersson has lost his confidence. He takes the puck. Normally, he would just take it himself and drive forward, but this time, he slows down. He tries to think, okay, do I go forward or do I pass it to the guy on the side? And because of that hesitation, he loses the puck, and it leads to some more shorthanded Hurricanes time. These guys were really good, shorthanded, by the way. In the second period, he had himself a shot that went off the inside of the post. So, yeah, he beats the goaltender, not the iron. It's still whatever the score was at that point in the game. Pettersson does not get on the board. Later on in the second period, Podkolzin's skate nicks him in the face. After a face-off, Podkolzin gets taken down, and his skate comes out there and slices Pettersson on the visor. It leads to a bloody nose. Pettersson goes off, and he's sitting there on the bench. You could see the guy's body language. He's frustrated. He thought he got high-sticked, and there was blood, and it would have been a 4-minute power play, but no, it's just Podkolzin, bro. Then you give it a few more minutes, and Pettersson gets a very, very nice chance in front, fed by Höglander, but again, he can't pull the trigger. This one doesn't go by Freddie. Höglander tries to follow up, and he gets stopped as well. In the third period, the worst of the worst happened. When Pettersson had the puck with speed coming down the right wing, he tries to take a shot on his off wing, and his stick snaps right in half. You see him skate away, he's gliding, he's got his arms up like, oh man, what the heck am I gonna do? And as he skates behind the net, Freddie Andersen pokes the puck, or he tries to poke the puck. He ends up poking Pettersson's skate out from underneath him, and Pettersson falls into the boards without a stick. You see him after on the bench. He's even more frustrated, and everybody in Canucks Twitter is freaking out. Dude, this guy's so unlucky. He can't catch a break. All the posts, the bad giveaways, the turnovers, the trips, the broken sticks. This guy is the unluckiest man in the world, and I said it in the previous video against Tampa Bay. I'm not going to get pissed off or anything, because this year, to me, this is the write-off year. In a decade and a half, when Elias Pettersson retires after bringing together a few Stanley Cups and a few Art Rosses and a long tenured career in Vancouver. We're going to look at 21-22 and say, yeah, that was the slump year. Like, you couldn't do anything about it. That was the unlucky year for Elias Pettersson and his historical career. And I'm going to go down there on record and double down on that. Say that Elias Pettersson is still going to be worth the money. He's still going to be all this. He's still going to be great. It's just this year is the bad year. And so, however many misfortunes and tribulations this guy goes through throughout 21-22, I'm not really going to go out there and fret anymore because I think I've kind of accepted it internally. This is the slump. So, talk to me in the comments. What do you think about today's game? I was about to say tonight's game, but then I was like, wait, no, today. It's 12:56 p.m. in the afternoon as I record this piece of audio right here. Talk to me in the comments all your thoughts about the Vancouver-Carolina game and Pettersson and his performance specifically. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.